around this town. Lady up around this town. Victory on the battleground. We claim it now. Lady up, lady up. Lady up, lady up. Lady up, lady up. Lady up, lady up.
Hello and welcome to the Lady Up America podcast. I am Diane Canada, your host, and so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us today. I am so excited to bring to you a very dear friend of mine today. But before we get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys have downloaded the Lady Up America app. I hope you're watching this on the app. You can get it in the Google store right now or in the Apple store. If you happen to be watching it on YouTube, then please go in and get the app. We want to make sure that anytime you want to come in and watch the podcast, that it's available to you. So due to censorship, we are migrating everybody into the app to watch the podcast going forward. But please get it. And if you have it and you're watching it in there, good on you. So my friend today who's joining us is Honoree Corder. She is an author, a publishing consultant. She's a TEDx speaker. She's the founder of the Indie Author University, co-founder of Empire Builders Masterclass, and she's published more than 50 books. She walks alongside other authors, and she basically helps them turn their books into empires. She is no slouch, let me tell you. She's the one to seek out if you are a serious writer and you want to turn it into an empire of your own. But please welcome to the show, my good friend, Honoree. Welcome. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
So good. Thanks for taking some time out of your very, very busy schedule to sit with us and these moms listening and impart your wisdom, which I know you are full of.
Well, you are very kind. I appreciate it, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I thought it might be fun today to take the topic from your TEDx talk and make that the title of our podcast today, because it's just such an intriguing title. So I thought we'd call today's episode Authenticity is the New Black. How do you feel about that? Are you good with that?
I think it's still the new black. It's been a minute since I did that TEDx talk. Anyone who watches it will notice that I have different hair. So it's been a minute, but I think it's still appropriate today.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's jump in, dive right in, because we've got moms listening right now that may have teenage kids at home, or maybe they have even younger children that are really confused in this society. I mean, there's just a lot of confusion going on. Mm-hmm. And so I would love to hone in on authenticity, like what that actually means when we're talking around the idea of identity and talking about how, bringing clarity to so much confusion, being your authentic self when it seems like so many people are confused about what that is. Let's hone in on that. And to you, what does authenticity even mean? Like, what does that even mean?
To me, it means being my true self, not holding back or being anything other than just who I am right off the bat, I think. And also, before I continue that thought, allowing people to be who they are, mm-hmm. Right? Creating the space for someone to have an opinion or be going in a direction, right? I can barely control myself. I can't control anyone else. So just allowing someone to have the space to talk to me about anything or to share anything or to be anything, and know that I'm okay. I'm okay with it. You do you, right? You do you. I'm going to do me. And I would appreciate if that was okay from both directions. Mm-hmm. So being authentic is not sending what I call the representative. Right?
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
The person that's like, well, I don't want to let my hair down. I don't want to be perceived as being imperfect. I don't want to be perceived as not having everything together, right? Being perceived as being more successful than I am, or smarter than I am, or taller than I am, or I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think people are just trying to twist themselves into a pretzel to impress people that they frankly don't even like. Right. So it's like they're
Yeah.
trying to do things, buy things, and be things that they're not, so that they can impress people that they don't know or they don't like. And I think that is just so prevalent. And I wrote a book and published it back in 2018 called Stop Trying So Effing Hard. You're swearing. It's not swearing. It's near swearing, moms. And that was the theme of that book, was to stop being anything other than who you are, because the right people will come and stay, and the not right people, not that there are wrong people. I don't think there are wrong people, right? I just think they're the people that make us feel good, and we should surround ourselves with those people. And the people that don't make us feel good, like, let them go to find people who they make feel good and who make them feel good. So I think the right people will come and stay, and the people that don't fit with us will go somewhere else. And if you're twisting yourself into a pretzel, like, okay, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, you're going to attract people that you don't really want to hang out with.
Yeah. The comparison is so huge for women, for sure. You know, I mean, this topic is so big. We could go so many directions with it. If we're talking about the kiddos at home, they're trying to help them figure out their identity. I think even for women, though, with this comparison and like you say, twisting themselves into a pretzel to try to please everyone or be everything to everybody, you know, I think even women, I think women of all ages can still struggle so much with their own identity. Like they really don't know who they are, you know? And so trying to be authentic, trying to show up, they don't even know what that looks like who that person would be. I love when you say, don't send the representative. I think that paints a really fun picture, but like who is the person? Who is she when she's with the person that she's most comfortable around? And she, like you say, lets her hair down and she feels like she can be, she just can kind of relax into that. That's the person that we want to bring forward, you know, at all times. And it's okay to not have it all together. I think with high achieving women, that perception is, you know, that perception is that other people, everybody else has it all together and you're the one who doesn't. And I know you're a high achiever. I'm a high achiever, but I've worked with so many high achieving women as a consultant. And the ones who appear to have it all together, very, very, I've yet to meet one who does have it all together.
Well, I think having it all together is a misperception, though, because I think, you know, I was never the mom I'm never the woman that's like, let me have a party because I'm going to have the perfect canapé, or, you know, I didn't love baked goods for all the school functions. I was always the mom at the grocery store the morning before, the night before, purchasing those things. And I think when you just kind of call out who you are and you just say, this is who I am, and this is what I love, and this is what I don't love, and I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to be okay with it. And you're not going to judge yourself. You'll find that people stop judging you, or you stop perceiving that they're judging you. Because I don't know that they are. I think people are so in their heads about what other people are thinking about them that they're not really thinking about you, right? You wouldn't worry what other people are thinking about you when you realize how little they are. That's a saying. Right. And so I think when you just kind of show up and go, this is who I am. Like, all of my girlfriends know when they come over, when I have a party or something, they just know that, like, they gotta make it look right. Cause like Honorée is not that gal, right? Like I'm a high performer in some areas and I am a non-performer in other areas. And I'm okay with that. Because I don't think you can. I don't think I can do it all. I think somebody probably can. I'm not that person. And I always look on Pinterest and I'm always like, oh, you know, I'm going to go to the craft store and I'm going to get all the things, and $200 later, I've got all the craft things. And then I come home and they're in the bag.
Same. Guilty.
Right?
I'm the same way.
I'm going to make all my gifts this year. It's going to be amazing. I'm not.
No, right. It doesn't happen for me either. I get those ambitious trips to Michael's and the Hobby Lobby too. And it's like, it feels good in the moment. I feel so Martha Stewart, you know, and then I come back and I'm like, yeah, I know.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do it. And it's okay. And I've stopped doing that. I've just started being okay with finally right? And we can talk about hair because I went silver earlier than a lot of people have let themselves go silver. And the predominant thing that I hear is, oh, yours looks great. Mine would never look that good.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. Right. And I see some women that are older and their hair is very thin because they keep just throwing some color on it. And I'm like, nobody thinks you're 35. They don't. We're not confused. Your hair color is not confusing us. And the minute you let it go, meaning holding on so tight to a hair color whose time has passed. Because when people say, Honorée, you're too young to go gray, I'm like, well, I don't know. It wouldn't be gray if that were true. Because I'm not dying at this color.
Right. You're just allowing, you're
Yes.
allowing it to come forward and you're owning it.
Yes. And I love it.
And I love
it. And anybody who wants to color their hair, I think they should do it. I think that you should do it till you're 147 if you want to. Right? I mean, honestly, like, I'm not saying I'm gray, everyone should go gray. I'm saying I went gray, I like it. And also I think yours would be pretty too, but not you, but and also yours. I'm just saying the royal you, everyone would look amazing if they just did what it is that they wanted to do. But it's amazing to me the number of people who are like, you can't go gray, you're too young.
Yeah.
When I started making the transition, and I'm like, if I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you. Thank you so much.
You know what happens with my hair is I have gray only on one half of my head. So only the right goes gray and the left of my head doesn't. I think it's because I'm right brained and that brain side has a lot more action.
Half of your brain is like pulling all the, That's so interesting.
Like short circuiting everything up there.
Yeah. So interesting.
So I love what you bring, the images that you bring to this. Don't send the representative, be your authentic self. If you're the type of woman who can do it all and still have peace and no anxiety around that and all, then by all means shine and do that. But if that's not you, lay it down, and drop the comparisons, all of that. But that authenticity is so important because we can tell when the representative shows up for you. We can tell. And I mean, your body language and there's all kinds of things that give us away when we're not our authentic self. Yeah. And I think right now, like kind of bringing it into the, political conversation for a minute, when we think about all of these people struggling so much right now with their identity, they don't even know what the true north is in their own heart, in their own life.
There's a lot of noise. When it's noisy, you can't think. You have to turn off the noise in order to know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, you totally do. And I think just that recentering, everyone that listens to me knows that I'm very open about my faith. And I know we share that faith. And, I think the key is not so much to figure out who you are, but it's to figure out whose you are. And that identity in Christ. Like I will just say for years, I was so confused on who I was because I thought that who I was tied to what I do. So when I was in the music industry, for instance, I thought that the only way I was going to be somebody was if I had, this level of success, like this particular, like the record deal and being on stages night after night and all my songs being played on the radio. Like that was my idea of success. And and I was on that fast track to that reality. And I'd been prepared for years in Atlanta by very, major management, major producers. And they, I had all this backing behind me. I got here to Nashville with the record deal in motion. And then the industry had a major meltdown because that was when MP3s were coming out. And this is in 2001. A lot of labels were being absorbed by other labels. And so basically they just kind of said, yeah, we're not going to do the deal. We're going to put all the money behind Rascal Flatts and everybody else is off the table.
Oh, well, nothing really ever happened with Rascal Flatts.
Well, but it was like in the moment, I was absolutely devastated. I had moved here. I had given up everything to do this. And I thought, like, I literally had thoughts in my head, like, who am I now? Like, who am I if I'm not Diane Michael, the singer? And I think it was the best thing that could have happened because it literally it rattled my worldview of what my identity meant. So had that happened, had that normal conclusion happened where I would have gone on and made records and all that, then I may not have ever known who I was. But I had a massive identity crisis when that happened. But thank God, because now I understand that my identity is not tied to what I do. It's tied to whose I am, who I belong to. And that then relaxes you, where you can open up and you can be like, well, whatever I'm doing today or doing tomorrow is not who I am. Like, that's just my service in the world. But now I'm crystal clear. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think people really do get wrapped up into being human doings instead of human beings.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
I totally resonate with everything that you said, so I don't want to repeat that. But I do think that an awful lot of people, the first question we ask someone or is asked of us is, what do you do?
Yeah.
So I always ask the question, what do you do for money?
Yeah.
That's my question.
That's really good.
What do you do for fun?
Yes.
You do the same thing for fun that you do for money? Right?
So
I asked that question and people are they're pushed back on their heels a little bit. Oh, that's an interesting question, because when I say, what do you do? It's like, well, you do podcasting and you do all of these things, but none of those things is who you are or whose you are. Right. And so when you get into your identity as what it is that you do, then if the what you do goes away.
Yep.
Right. And I've talked to so many people over the years, not just even recently, but over the years, who were doing something. They had a job and then their job went away. So they went into the office one day and the office said, thank you for showing up. We're done. You're done. You're going home now. And they didn't know what to do. They didn't have a, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Well, not even just a plan B, but a what would I do if I wasn't working?
Right.
10, 12, 14 hours a day. Who am I? What would I do? What are my interests? What are the things that I do with my free time?
And I think even for moms, they're raising their children, they're busy, they're very immersed in their children's lives, right? And then when their children grow up and go to college or move away, I think even moms can struggle with that. Like, who am I now if I'm not so-and-so's mom?
Right. Yes. Who am I if I am not a mom? Yes. And this is something that I think would be helpful for moms of younger kids. When my daughter was in the first few years of her life, I felt like by the time she reached the age of majority, I was going to be tired. This is my prime time. What no one said to me is, she's going to grow up really fast and you are still going to feel as young and vital and smart and creative and competent as you do right now when it's time for her to go and live her life.
Wow.
I just felt like she's going to grow up and I'm going to grow old and it's going to be too late for me. And it's nothing I said out loud.
Right.
Nothing I said out loud, but I find myself now, when she's in her early 20s, going, I still kind of feel as good as I did when she was in her early years. Right? I still feel as all of those things. And no one said that to me. No one said, well, you can put that on hold and enjoy this process. I thought I was just quitting. I was a keynote speaker and I was traveling and doing speaking, and I had a speaker say to me, you need to get a nanny because you're a good speaker and you're going to be on the road all the time. And I said, oh no, that doesn't interest me. I don't want someone else to raise her.
Right.
I will just quit. It's just speaking, right? It's like, it is what it is. I'll do something else. And so I did something else. But on the other side of it, I still find I enjoy that. I would enjoy it more if I owned my own private jet company, but that's another conversation, right? Air travel is not what it used to be.
No, it's not. It's not.
But I still am interested in all of the things I was interested in. And I still like to do all of the things I used to do and still feel like I can still do them and add value. As a matter of fact, with more years, more experience, more knowledge, and less need to send the representative and more need to be authentic. I like it so much better now. No one really said that to me. And I didn't know I was saying to myself, I'm just going to quit. There's nothing possible on the other side.
Yeah. That it was an either or scenario.
Right. Not an and.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is an and, you know, and that balance is different for every woman, you know, that story can look very different for every woman. I don't think there's one size fits all in that, but yeah, I mean, it's not an or, it's an and. You know, I'd love to explore for just a minute the fact that you are, you know, we're trying to train up influencers in Lady Up America, and I know you are one of our tribe here in Lady Up America. I know you've been such an early adopter, early supporter, and you continue to, you know, to reach out and stay connected to me in the app and all of that, and I enjoy our friendship, of course. But you are a wonderful influencer. I mean, okay, if we look at your ability to capture people's attention, right? I mean, and keep that attention in the form of a book. You know, you've got their undivided attention, and to get their buy-in, you're not only getting their time buy-in, them reading your books, that kind of thing, but also you're coming alongside other authors and you're teaching them how to do the same. You know, you're rinsing and repeating with so many people. So again, kind of how it translates to Lady Up, as women are learning to become masterful influencers here. What is your secret sauce, you know, for winning buy-in from people?
Well, I think it is authenticity, obviously, is the easy answer. At providing value. I try to provide value. I also think that the thing that I do well is come from my heart, and my purpose is encouraging, influencing through encouragement. In other words, I'm not going to let a person go by if I can say, Diane, you can totally do this. You've got this. You have all the tools to do this. Because there was a time when, and you know, I'm an old Tony Robbins fan, right, from way back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember doing an audio that he had put out a program, and I would do his like daily audio where he would walk you through like how to get yourself in the right state every day. And he would say, turn up the volume. And what he meant was turn up the volume on the voice in your head that's telling you can do it. And turn down the volume on the voice in your head that's telling you can't do it. Well, some people don't have the voice in their head that's telling them that they can do it.
Right.
And so I want to say, Diane, you can do it. So when your own voice is saying, I can't do this, you go, well, but Honorée says I can do it. I think she's smart. I think she might know. And she, you know, I will say, I'm an excellent judge. I think you can do it. And I'm an excellent judge, right? Just to have a little bit of humor to go with it. And I think that that's really important. And so when you can provide value to people, value being, and so in the process of writing a book, I can say, yes, you can write a book. I believe you can write a book. If I could write a book, you could write a book. Here's my process for doing it, right? The voice in my head saying, you can absolutely do this, hopefully is louder than your voice saying, no, I can't do this, or it's not the right time to do this, or whatever. I try to say, gosh, you're going to love being an author, and the sooner you get started, the sooner that you'll be there. Also, anything anyone ever tells you about writer's block doesn't exist, right? Like, who are you to be an author? There's only one person, that is you. And so you must write your book that will inspire and encourage other people. So when you can bring value to the process, and you can combine that with your authenticity and your unending belief in the person you're talking to. I think self-confidence could be another part of this conversation, working on your own self-belief and your own self-confidence. When someone is confident, that confidence conveys.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know if I can do it, but Honorée says I can do it. Diane says I can do it. I believe them because I look up to them. So I'm going to choose to take their advice and their encouragement, and I'm going to embody that. I'm going to hold on to it tight because I'm not feeling it myself. So when you can provide all of that to someone, that is what gets someone's attention, because it's rare. and it keeps their attention because it's authentic and genuine, and they know you care about them.
Yes. Yes. That's a winning combo, and that confidence is contagious. It truly is. I think you made so many great points in there, but I think the key is that authenticity behind it. Like, we can tell when people are just pumping us full of sunshine, right? We can tell, like, we know when it's not,
Yes.
when they don't really mean it. But
Right.
yeah, but that person that truly, truly believes, and then you become that person for somebody else. Like, once you reach that level of confidence, you can reach back and help the next person. It's just I think women have superpowers when it comes to this. We crave community, we crave sisterhood. Yeah, we love that. I mean, we love companionship. We're hardwired for that by our creator. I think where women get into trouble with all the cattiness and all that is when they really let that, like you say, that volume come up in their head, and all that comparison starts, all that noise starts in their head, rather than just relaxing all of that and saying, you know what, I love the line in the movie. I think it was Jerry Maguire where he says, these are the ABCs of me, baby. And it's like, and I say that often. I'm like, these are the ABCs of me, like it, lump it, whatever. But I'm just showing up. This is who I am. And just getting over it all, because we've got important work to do in the world. We've got love that we can give, we can pump out in the world. We've got influence that we are capable of. And it's just the stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. We just need to kind of leave it at the altar, leave it behind, and stop letting it drag us down and mess with our heads. It's just, we've got way bigger fish to fry, especially in our current political culture. Yeah.
Right. We don't need any more competition, and there really is no competition.
Right.
If we can stop the competition and the cutthroat, replace it with collaboration and cooperation and compromise, I think we will go a long way.
Yeah. And I think a lot of women are scared to let their guard down because they're worried about being hurt. And I don't know if you've experienced this too, but I've been hurt a lot in my life. I tried to become a sharper um, listener for the Holy Spirit, and guiding me and prompting me into situations that I should or shouldn't be a part of. I try to listen more for his voice, and you become a better judge of character over time. But I would rather be the type of person that's authentic and open, and okay, maybe I get hurt here and there, than to be so closed up and so fearful all the time that somebody's just living in that paralyzing state of wondering where the next dart's coming from. I mean, it's just no way to enjoy your life. Like, just to let that stuff go, because there's just no money in it. There's just
no money, no love, no joy.
I'm
with you on that for sure.
Yeah. Well, as we wind down here, I want to just give you the last word today. What do you want to leave in the hearts and the minds of the women, the moms that are listening right now that are struggling in this area?
Oh, I can't even remember the names of any of the women who were unkind. I only remember the names of the people who were kind and who were supportive and encouraging. And people will forget everything except how you made them feel. So if all you can do is make people feel good and feel encouraged, what you put out comes back to you multiplied. So just do that. Be as kind as you can, as often as you can. Don't be so hard on yourself, sister. Right? Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And also, like, surround yourself with women who are cheering for you, because what is seeing other people be successful or having some success and having your friends to cheer for you, a really cool feeling.
Yeah, it is. I completely agree. Yeah, and the people who don't, who just make you feel bad about yourself, love them from a distance.
I think there's a saying, isn't it? Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts.
My mom has this thing. She says, "Bless her heart."
Yes. I'm Southern by marriage. I learned, right?
Yeah. Well, let's. Yes, we'll teach you. We'll Southernize you here a little bit.
I'm working on it.
We're going to tell everybody where they can find out more about you. Everybody's got a book in them, and if you are people are serious. I know that you are a very, I mean, you want serious people coming to you, but I think they can learn a lot from the tools that you have available on your website, things like that. So let's show them where they can learn more about you, and maybe if someone's interested in having you come speak, that kind of thing. Where can they find you?
HonoreeCorder.com is the hub of all the things, and then I'm on the socials more than I would like to admit I am, because I like the pictures. I want to see what's going on.
Right. It's a great way to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for being an encourager in my life, for being one of my cheerleaders.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
one of yours, and I so
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by incredible, beautiful women, and you chief among them. So thank you for that.
Same.
And thank you for coming on and encouraging ladies today too. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. And I will look forward to our next coffee visit.
Oh, yes. Let's do that very soon. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Honoree Corder, everybody. And thank you so much for tuning in today. We sure appreciate it. Again, please download the app if you haven't already. That's going to be our ecosystem going forward. And I just welcome you into my world. So again, thanks for watching today. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. And just remember, be authentic. Be your authentic self, because it is enough. All right. See you next time.
Media around this town. Media around this town. Victory on the battleground.